What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to some Neverwinter. Today's video will be doing basically a build for my Scourge Warlock. I'm going to be respecking and choosing all the actual stuff I want. So if you go here, I had a retraining token. What the heck? Was that on my? Oh, I think that was my guardian. Never mind. We're not gonna respec, but I'm gonna show you guys my powers and all that stuff. I'm gonna show you guys all the things I set up, and I'll tell you guys what I want to change. First off, here's my character. We got the Wicked Mage's stuff. Not too great of loot, as you see, only 11k gear score, but I mean, it's decent. Draconic Gloves, that's probably my best gear I have right now. Pack Blade, you get that from the Drow Renegade Elf pack. That's the current class that I'm, or the race that I'm right now. So not too great of gear. The stats, you see, have 3k power. I boosted up my charisma high. I think I might have boosted that a bit too high, but oh well. I can always respec later on, but for now, just I have it set. And if I do make a changes, I'll make a change video showing you guys everything that's changed. But I got my power, critical. I should probably put up my armor penetration too. Defense 1900, and all that stuff. So let's move on to the powers. For my powers, I want to get this to level 3 next. Like once I respec, because it's actually a really good move. But for my powers, I boosted all these. Right now I'm using the ones that I'm using right now for my dungeon runs and stuff. I'm using the Killing Flames, because I mean, look at that damage, 2k to 10k. That's crazy. Plus, when you kill something with this, it actually spawns in a soul puppet, which helps you. That's pretty sick, and it does decent damage. It's actually one of the more damaging skills I have. I also have Shadow Walk, which I enjoy because I can run a bit faster and dip out of those bad situations that I don't want to be in. And then the next power I use is either, I switch between these two depending on like what the situation is, but right now I'm using Flames of Plegathos. I don't know how to say it. Phlegethos? I don't know. But it does 10k to 12k damage. Pretty decent. It's not like amazing. Sorry, I had the yawn. Really tired. It's not amazing, but it's okay. But that isn't the one I usually use though. I should probably switch actually between these two, because this one actually heals you. So and it's better than this one in a sense, because I have a spell that does better than that one anyways. But next one I have is Dread Theft. This is my favorite move. This is the strongest one I have right now, I think. The strongest like regular move, not daily. It does 8k to 10k. I mean, Killing Flames does 2k to 10k. This generally does 8k to 10k. So it's really, really good. Really, really strong. Next I have the Dark One's Blessing. Gain life whenever a target affected by Warlock's curse dies. Heal 15%. I have like doubled heal 30%, I guess. And the rest of them, like, you can just upgrade whatever you need, whatever you want, until you, because some of these you have to see available at 20 points. So you can only unlock these once you've hit 20 points. Which means you have to spend 20 points. This one I have to fix actually too, because I didn't fully upgrade this one, which I just completely blanked out. I forgot to do it, but that's one of the main ones I use on my RT slot. This is Xbox One, by the way, guys, if you haven't noticed yet. One of the other ones I used to use was Fiery Bolt, which is pretty good. It did like an area of effect sort of thing, but I switched out of it. It's not as strong as the later on ones you get. I also used to use that one, but I don't use it. The Hellish Rebuke is the other at-will I use, so that's my two at-will powers I have right now are Hellish Rebuke and Hand of Blight. Both doing decent damage. Hellish Rebuke, it basically does damage over time. You throw a fireball at it, and it sort of burns the target, and it just slowly does a bit of damage. Harrowstorm is pretty good too. I don't know what the heck that is. Sorry, the yawn again. The next skill I actually use is Warlock's Bargain. I use that at my Y slot. So my Dread Theft I use on the B slot, my Killing Flames I use on the X slot, and then in my Y slot I have Warlock's Bargain because it does 6k to 7k. It does a decent amount of damage, plus it does lifesteal, which is just that much extra bonus because it heals you. That's also a decent move. And then for the final daily power, I'm sorry if I went by this quickly, just so you guys can just follow along and pause if you need to. The final the daily power that I have, this is one I mainly use, is Gates of Hell, because this is strong as hell. I mean, its name is truly what it is. Basically what this does is you summon it and it gives you a location select system, you know? Some spells will give you, some spells you can just use straight up by pushing the button once, but some spells you have to actually push the button twice. So this one, you press LB and Y once, and then you have to press it again, but when you want to aim it behind the target, and like you want to aim it behind the target, and you want to be on the other side of the target. So you want the target that you're trying to hit to be in between you and the location you selected. And basically what this spell will do is once it's fully, like once it's hit and landed, it will shoot a light that aims from the gate, I guess you want to call it, to you, and it does damage in between there, and it does a lot of damage, a lot of damage. It's my favorite spells. I should have probably buffed this up because that's actually a pretty good one, but that's basically my powers. So if you want to go over it again, I might actually switch to get that one back once I respec, but basically I have Killing Flames in my X slot. Killing Flames again, 2k to 8k. Summons the Soul Puppet once you've done damage, and it's pretty good. Shadow Walk. That means that you have to actually kill it though. So if you hit the last hit on the monster, the foe that you're fighting, it will actually summon the Soul Puppet. But if you don't, it'll just do extra damage. Shadow Walk is my active personal spell. Basically lets me run faster 10% each time you upgrade it. So 30% right now. Next spell I have is Flames of Phlegathos and Accursed Souls, which I switch between and from time to time. I'm probably going to switch Accursed Souls because I can use that if I'm low on health. But next skill we have in my B slot, the Flames of Phlegathos, whatever I can't even pronounce that name, is my LBX slot. In my B slot I have Dread Theft, which is another powerful spell which basically summons, you use it and you summon a sort of beam of light, or a beam of like a purple beam that goes towards the targets, and it does, as you see, it does damage 10% each time you upgrade it, plus resist buff and resist debuff. Next personal I have is Dark One's Blessing. Gain life whenever a target affected by your Warlock's Curse dies, and it does about 30% now. And then I also have my RT slot, I have Hand of Blight, which I need to upgrade again. In my LT slot I have Hellish Rebuke, and in my Y slot I have Warlock's Bargain, and in my LB and Y slot I have Gates of Hell. Now moving on to feats. These feats I could have probably done, I mean, I like this actually, it's pretty good feat selection. I can always choose more if I overload my level, as you see with that blue bar at the top of your, like at the blue bar under your character's name, that where your XP bar used to be, that is still your XP bar, but it's now instead of leveling up, you're overloading your XP bar pretty much. So you're getting enough XP to finish it off, and once you get there you get a special reward. I think you get a skill point or something like that. You get a point for one of the either feats or the powers. I've only done it once and I forgot what you get, but let's go ahead and go back to feats. So my feats I chose increase my critical strike. I chose weapon mastery. I put it up by 2. Toughness, put it up by 3 because I want that extra HP. I chose battle wise, put that up by all the way up to 3 because I want to create less threat when you're a sort of a warlock. Any type of, unless you're like a guardian fighter, a great weapon fighter, or if once they add Oathbound Paladin or an Oathbound Paladin, you basically want to create less threat. You don't want to have that much threat on your character because you want people attacking you because you'll take a lot of damage compared to the other classes. So a Warlock, as you see, because I only have about almost 2k defense, so I use that to create a bit less threat and sort of hide my character a bit more, so I can just be focused on DPS on the boss or whatever. I also have Empowered Rituals boosted up to 3, which does 6% more damage for my encounter powers. I have Shadow Fold increased by 2, so it does 4% less stamina that gets consumed by the Shadow Slip, so I can just use it a bit longer when I want to run away from situations. Sorry, another yawn. Next up, I boosted up my Determined Casting up to 4, which means encounter cooldowns are reduced by 8%. I should have probably got that one full before I did this, but and then next I have Desperate Restoration, which when under 30% hit points, heals are 15% more effective on you, so I get healed a bit 15% more than I normally would. And then for my Paragon Pass, I chose to go for the Fury Paragon path, and I chose Daughter's Promise, which means when a cursed target is killed, you deal 20, or I will now 40 because I did it by 2. You deal 40% of your weapon damage as necrotic damage to a target with near the recently slain. I also chose Critical Promise, which gives me extra critical hit on my next attack. It gives me extra critical. It gives me a critical. Okay. After I get a critical hit, my next attack will deal, I think I did it by 3, so deal 6% of your damage as necrotic damage. So I can't speak, it's really late at night. The next one I chose is Gates of Hell, or Gatekeeper's Empowerment, which basically boosts up the Gates of Hell power. It deals 5% more damage and generates 2% more action points for each target killed. Additionally, the Flames of Empowerment class feature now increases your damage by an additional... I don't think I have that one. By additional 5% while your action points are full. I also do that. Now we go down to the Temptation. Oh god, I'm dying in Minecraft. Disconnect quickly. And under the Temptation slot, I have... On the Temptation Paragon path, I have the first one, which is Vengeful Curse. When damaged, you have a 10% chance to apply Lesser Curse to your attacker, which means I do extra damage to them, and so do my teammates. I then boosted up Compounded Soul. Striking Cursed foes has a chance to grant 5% of the Warlock's max HP as temporary hit points to allies near the Warlock, which means it's sort of like lifesteal. I heal my allies near me for 5%. As temporary hit points, is not actually healing it, just temporary hit points. I also have Aura of Display fully maxed out, which enemies within 20 feet of you deal 5% less damage. And then I boosted up Darkness. Enemies damaged by blades of vanquished armies briefly deal. I should actually get rid of that one. See, this is why I need to respec, because I sort of chose the wrong path. But and then I chose for the final Paragon path. I chose. Well, that one's actually good too. I chose Your Lifesteal now also heals allies for 200% of its value. The healing component of your Vampiric Embrace now also heals nearby enemies for 100% of its value. Although I should probably choose this one because it's a bit better. Or maybe this one, I'm not sure. I have to look into this a bit better, but this is basically what I have right now. Boons, I don't have any yet. I'm working on getting some boons. I'm probably going to go with this one first. And then I'm going to go with the Deflect. Or no, Critical Strike. So I'm going to go for my boons, and this is what I'm going to choose. I'm going to choose Dragon's Claws, which gives me 200 power. Dragon's Gaze, which gives me 200 Critical Strike. Then I'm going to choose Dragon Scale. Or actually, I'm going to choose Draconic Armor Breaker, because that gives me armor penetration, as I'm a DPS based class. And then I'm going to get Dragon's Greed, which will give me lifesteal rating. And then I'm going to get... what do these do? I'll probably get Dragon's Grip to get that 15% increased troll strength. Either that or... one of these three. I haven't chosen yet, but yeah. That's basically it for my Scourge Warlock. This video was actually requested by Thomas Kennedy in the comment section on one of my dungeon videos, and thanks for requesting this video because it was actually pretty decent, pretty fun to make, and it's good to see what I can improve on for my class as well. I'll definitely be making another video in the future showcasing my Guardian Fighter, showcasing all my other classes, and definitely I'll showcase this guy once I've respec'd him to better specs and all that, and once I've boosted him up a bit. I just need to actually do some dungeons. Also, if you guys are on the Xbox 360 or Xbox One, I mean, and you want to do some dungeons, hit me up. Add me on the Xbox. My gamer tag is Baggins. I'll put it in the description below, and you can add me and we'll do some dungeons together, maybe some Castle Never, all that jazz. Plus, maybe some of you guys can teach me about the game, you know. And guys, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thomas, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it helped you a bit. And we'll see you guys later. Have a good day. Peace out.